Hi, Friars. I'm so glad you were able to join me for another read along this week. I hope you had a great weekend. So, April is National Poetry Month, and in honor of poetry, this week we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to share a poem with you from a book from our library collection, and then you're going to create your own poem. A poem is a small but powerful thing. So I want to give you a chance to create your own using something called borrowed poetry. The poem I'm going to read to you is from Out of Wonder by Kwame Alexander. It's poems celebrating poets. And in this book, there are poems by contemporary poets celebrating the best poets ever. So, or like E.E. Cummings and Gwendolyn Brooks, a Chicagoan, or Emily Dickinson, and many, many more. And they're also, so they're tributes, they're tribute poems. And they have these beautiful illustrations. I like this one. Okay. So the poem I chose to read today is How to Read a Poem. It's celebrating Naomi Shihab Nye, and the poem was written by Kwame Alexander. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, oops, let's go back. Okay, so How to Write a Poem, celebrating Naomi Shihab Nye. Hush, grab a pencil, some paper, spunk. Let loose your heart, raise your voice. What if I have many voices? Let them dance together, twist and turn like best friends, in a maze, till you find your way to that one true word, or two, by Kwame Alexander. So, we're going to use this poem, How to Write a Poem, by Kwame Alexander, celebrating Naomi, to create our own poetry. So, what is borrowed poetry? So we often get inspiration from other writers, and we get inspiration for a lot of different things. You probably get in art class, you probably get inspiration from other artists too. So sometimes in poetry, you borrow lines from other poems, and this is called borrowed poetry. It also might be called Cento poetry, but today we're calling it borrowed poetry. Borrowed poetry is a great way to pay tribute to a poet by adopting their styles and rhythms. So, I created a template for us that we can use to create our own poem. So this is what it's going to say. You're going to fill in the blanks with your own words. So I'll say, how to blank, celebrating Kwame Alexander. You're going to say, hush, grab a blank, some blank, spunk. Let loose your blank, raise your blank. What if I have many blank? Let them blank together, twist and blank, like blank, in a blank, till you blank your blank to that one blank or two. And then you say bye and your name, blank blank. So that's the template you can use. If you don't want to use this poem, you don't have to. You can find your own. You can look at the internet, you can wipe out some words, and you can create your own. So I went ahead and I made my own poem using the template. So here it goes. It is How to Read a Book, celebrating Kwame Alexander. Hush, grab a book, some time, spunk. Let loose your imagination, raise your mind. What if I have many books? Let them stack together, twist and bind like bricks in a city till you finish to that one end or two, by Mrs. Dishman. So you can see all of the words, my mouse work? Okay, All of the words in bold are the words that I added, okay? So you can use this poem to teach us how to do anything, how to ride a bike, how to play basketball, how to bake a cake, how to do a TikTok. It's endless. The possibilities are endless, okay? So, if we were in the library, we would do this together. We would fill in the blanks together. So we would all be together and we'd say, grab A, and then someone would shout out that, and then someone else would shout out some blank. So we would all do this together, and then we would have a poem that we all created together. But since we're not together in the library, for our younger students, you want to grab a grown-up or an older sibling to help you with this. And maybe you can do it as a family, and you fill in the blanks. And like I said, it can be a how-to for anything. For our older students, what can you come up with? I gave you a couple of examples. Maybe someone can teach Mrs. Dushman how to do TikTok with us. How to TikTok, celebrating Kwame Alexander by my middle schoolers. So that's our assignment for this week. You don't have to use this poem. I grabbed this one because it celebrates poetry. It's by Kwame Alexander, a poet I've been really liking lately. And I'm gonna share a video for you that you can watch that he does about borrowed poetry. It can be a nursery rhyme. It can be a Shel Silverstein poem. It can be a silly poem. It can even be a song. Songs are poems. You can borrow just maybe the title and be inspired by the title, or you can take parts of the poem. See what you can come up with when you borrow. So I hope that you have fun with poetry this week. And as always, happy reading. All right. Bye, guys.